Hold up. Let's start at the beginning, shall we?
Well, that's in effect what you're doing, isn't it? By you saying and ratcheting up. I mean, that's...
Hello. Morning. Top of the morning to you. So, I'm in Neath currently in South Wales. My original plan was actually to hike in the Brecon Beacons today, but because of the weather and this sort of drizzly rain thing that we're having, I felt a bit iffy about being out on like exposed hills. I am doing an overnight camp. It's my first one of the year of 2022, so I'm well excited. I've taken a while to sort of get up and going this morning because I changed my plans last minute. So my plan is to go into the Avan Forest Park. I think that's what it's called. I've been wanting to explore that place for ages, and I thought to myself, lots of trees, you know, a bit of more protection from wind and rain and stuff. Hoping to camp by a lake. There's a lake that I saw on the map. I was like, seems like a good spot. So yeah, sorry if the camera's a bit shaky. I'm just sort of trying to get going. But it's lovely. I'm just walking along the Neath Canal at the moment. Again, I mapped it out myself. So yeah, I'm excited. Nervous, but excited. It's actually warmer than I thought. Obviously, I'm in the valley at the moment, so it will get colder. But yeah, join me on an adventure. Let's do this. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit of a faff today. I don't have my usual rucksack. I've got a slightly bigger one with me, which I'll show you more about later. This is my original one that I had with Let's try that again. That's the rucksack that I've done a lot of my like first long distance hikes with and stuff. This one here, and it feels different. But it feels a bit sturdier than my blue one, my Montane one. So I felt like for my first adventure, it's only early March, you know, it's better to have something slightly sturdier, have a bit more stuff with me, just to like make sure I'm okay overnight and I have layers and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. So I've become very, very used to my other backpack. Yeah, apologies. I'm not called Pocket Rambles for nothing, because I do fucking ramble. Anyway, so yeah, a bit faffy. No place to really put my tripod when I'm walking, and my camera, because it's not waterproof, does have to go into a case, like between shots and stuff. So it's a bit of a... So yeah, there might be times where I won't film as much, but still gonna try and get some nice footage for you guys, and see how I go. Okay, bye! Hello! You're a curious one. So this one, I've just spent like 45 minutes to an hour looking for this path and not finding it. And then I trespassed on someone's field, a couple of fields, had to cross some barbed wire fence, and then join a road basically so that I could get back onto where I needed to go. Basically, I followed this public right of way and it just went in like very much not the direction I needed to go. And I was like looking at the map and I was like, but the map's telling me that this goes like where I need to go. I'm trying to explain this without overcomplicating it, but yeah, so just basically wasted some time, but I'm back on track, and I'm approaching the forest now, which is great because it'll be less rainy and I can have a break and have a lunch and then keep going. As it turned out, I was once more walking on the wrong path, or at least not what I'd mapped out. So I backtracked a little and followed what seemed to be a public right-of-way. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. I just had some very difficult river crossings and there is no path. So no matter what direction I sort of started heading into, there was just no path, no passageway. I've had to cross like maybe 3 or 4 different gates. I was like, for something that looks like a public right of way, this doesn't look very accessible. Don't understand, you know. So just so we're clear, when I say I had to cross gates, I do mean taking my rucksack off, throwing it over the gate into the mud and climbing over said gate. Finally hit the forest, but it's an hour later to what it was earlier, because I realised earlier I was on the wrong path, but now I'm just like, should have probably just stuck to the Roman road earlier. That would probably been more direct. So yeah. I've no idea what distance I've done. I think I'm trying to just not focus on that and just trying to get through this now and get onto like a main path so that I can then put the gears on, because I haven't eaten yet. I mean, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, and it is definitely an adventure. But yeah, the rain is sort of easing up a little bit now, but I haven't filmed much because of that. So because it was raining and I was quite exposed. So yeah, right, I'm gonna get on with it. I'm having to walk like crouched because the branches are so low. Ah! Sorry, shitty camera work. Oh, made it! I'm on the path now. Oh. That was fun. So, I'm just gonna try and get a bit of distance in. The thing is, right, I could just camp wherever, I suppose, but I'm not too keen on camping directly within the forest, and therefore I need to kind of find like a field or a bit of, you know, like a clearing or something. But ideally I want to be camping by this lake, which is quite far away still, so we'll see how I get on. But that is why I'm sort of trying to press on and not just, you know, be like, well, yay, adventure, depends, you know, who cares where we're getting at? Because for me, it helps me a lot to have like a goal and a place to go, and an aim in mind. So yeah, anyway, catch you later. I am finally taking a few minutes. I've barely taken a break, just because I really need to crack on. I don't really like setting up camp in the dark, but I would really like to set up by that lake that I spotted on the map. Oh, so I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, I guess it's an important reminder that, especially when you're going somewhere that you don't know, it is useful to, I think what I should have done, I mean obviously I changed my mind about the path this morning, but I don't have like a paper map of this area basically, so I think next time, you know, hopefully I'll be a bit more organised and prepared. If I have a paper map of the area, I would just use that to like open it wide and just have a bit of an overview, because what's happened this time I think is when you do it on your phone, it's really, you know, because you have to kind of zoom in to like plot the route, and the way that I plotted it wasn't the most direct route. So it's sort of left me, now I'm basically playing catch up. I don't know, like I like these evergreen forests, I really do, but I don't like these massive paths that are really exposed and stuff. It doesn't make me feel like I'm in a forest. But then, you know, as soon as I stepped off and went into what looked like paths on the map, I was suddenly like, just, it was all up in my face. All up in everything. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting adventure for sure. I am drenched, like all of my upper body, like the clothes I'm soaked through. So yeah, I can't wait to like get to camp, set up, and then wear my dry clothes. Oh, that's gonna be such a treat. I'm so excited. It's the small things when you're doing this stuff. It really is the small things that just bring so much joy and make such a massive difference. Anyway, I think I'll have like an energy bar and then I need to crack on. It's 5 p.m. already, so I've only got maybe an hour and a half of daylight, so I really need to get going. But yeah, my feet are killing me. That's the other reason I wanted to be by the lake, is because I want to like rinse my feet, like give them a bit of a cold shock, like to help them. But we'll see how it goes. I really hope this rain stops as predicted around, you know, 6ish or something, so that I can actually set up a dry camp. That'd be great. Anyway, wish list. Wish list, and for what? Nature doesn't give a damn about what I want. Anyway, catch you later. Hello. So as you can see, I'm in my tent. I don't usually cook inside the tent or in the vestibule even, but I am making an exception this evening because it's still raining. It's like 8 p.m. or something already. I've already been at camp a while, just getting changed into dry clothes, which is great. As you can hear the rain, obviously. I'm just boiling some water for my dinner. I look like I've just had a dip in the lake or something, but I haven't. That's just from the rain. I can hear some like dirt bikes, so I really hope they don't come here. They've passed now. I think they passed, but yeah. Yeah. I'm already getting a little bit chilly, but I think some food, a hot drink. I have a bit of whiskey as well with me, because it was my birthday last weekend, so I thought I would bring something nice to have. And I've camped. I did find the lake. I had to hike in the dark, which is something that scares me quite a bit usually. Well, it did scare me, but here's to, you know, doing things that scare us. But yeah, so I hiked in the dark for about, I don't know, like an hour or something. Quite a long time. Yeah, I got to the lake and I pitched just underneath some trees. I made sure that there weren't any massive branches hanging above me that could crash down, as far as I could see anyway. But yeah, fingers crossed I get some kind of sleep. Everything's wet. Honestly, everything's wet, I think. Like, as long as I manage to keep my down jacket and my down sleeping bag dry, but everything else is just a bit damp and not very nice, really. But it is what it is. Yeah. Let me show you what I'm having for dinner. Sorry, a bit of rustling because I need to get it out of the bag. So for dinner I'm having fire pot, chili con carne with rice. Nice and straightforward. I've got some Edam cheese with me as well, which I'm going to cut into it, and probably some garlic as well. Again, gotta protect that immune system. I forgot to take my vitamins with me, so sorry, not great for the sound, but I think I was trying to figure out why I was so stubborn about like getting to the lake, and I think it's because I like waking up in a really nice place, and I just feel like these forests, like in the forest themselves, the trees are too close together to camp really, and it feels, I saw lots and lots of branches that had crashed down and stuff, and that's just natural sometimes as well. That just happens. But obviously we had all these storms and stuff recently, so I was a bit like, I don't know, I don't really want to camp like just completely surrounded by trees. Like, at least here I have tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and I'll see the lake. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And I think it'll just be nice, like, fingers crossed it won't be too terrible in terms of the weather and stuff. Fingers crossed. It was supposed to have stopped raining already, but clearly hasn't. So who knows, I might have another rainy day tomorrow. Because I'm heading home tomorrow, I'm sort of playing with the thought of just wearing my night clothes for the day, or at least at the top, because all of my tops that I wore today are just drenched. My fleece, my t-shirt, my long sleeve thing, my base layer, sorry, not long sleeve thing, long sleeve thing. Yeah. Been thinking about, you know, perseverance and like, how do I sort of like make sure that I'm doing things and make sure that I'm getting somewhere and stuff like that. And I feel like, well, first of all, I don't have like a car to go back to. So I, you know, I just kind of have to be here. It's either that or I walk, you know, past a certain distance. It's either that or I have to walk like back into the valley, into a town I don't know, to get accommodation. Like, it all just feels too complicated. It feels like, no, okay, well, as long as I can get water, as long as I can stay relatively warm. I generally don't manage to sleep very well because I'm usually like just it seems a bit too cold to sleep. But you know, I keep hypothermia at bay. I have plenty of calories before bed, all that stuff. Of course, it's only March, so it feels like, oh, the weather's not ideal. Like last year, my first adventure wasn't until early April, and that didn't go very well. So, you know, in a way it's progress because I'm pushing myself, but also it's like, I knew it was going to rain. it still sucked. But, you know, the other thing is that because it was my birthday last weekend, I was just kind of like, it'd be nice to do something kind of birthday-y, you know? Here's my whiskey, which I got in Scotland at Christmas, and I thought, why not bring some along, and, you know, have a little swig, celebrate being a year older, actually a new decade for me, so yay! Peaty. It's an Isla. For any whiskey connoisseurs out there. I might be having a hot chocolate later as well and pop some of this in. I don't usually drink when I'm out on a hike and stuff. Unless I'm passing a pub or something, you know, but I don't usually bring alcohol. Because weight, I only got this hip flask recently. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this actually looks like tomorrow morning. Usually I'm very like picky with my camp spots for good reason, because I like a nice scenic camp spot, to my detriment probably, you know, unless I'm actually at a campsite, but if I'm world camping I'm like, might as well like go somewhere really scenic. So yeah, I think that might have also been part of my motivation to seek out the lake. And also just because I wanted to see it. You know, tomorrow morning I'll be like, cool, I've seen this now, I've been here, nice. And then I'm going to head back up the hill and then across, and yeah. I still need to work out what distance I've walked today. It was definitely more than I anticipated, I think. If I had to wager, I think I've walked about 20k. Yeah. Which is a lot when you're carrying like all your stuff. That can be a lot anyway, but yeah. And when you got short legs like me. You can't beat instant soup. There's something very satisfying about it at the end of a hike. Don't mind me. But yeah, I guess I'm just like alone in my tent, and I'm like, got no one to chat to. I'm usually pretty good with it, but ironically I think when I'm wild camping I tend to then want to hear from people more as a reassurance. I think there's kind of signal here, but I also don't want to, I don't know, like I'll tell people I'm okay and stuff, those who know my itinerary and whatnot. Anyway, I better check on my chili con carne. And cake. Doesn't look very glorious like that, but tastes amazing.
Alright, so I've been on my phone for a while, my eyes are closing, I'm very tired, but I need to get up to brush my teeth and to go to the toilet one last time. I really don't want to get up. I'm sort of cozy, I'm sort of a little bit cold usually around my bum area. I seem to lose a lot of heat there for some reason. But yeah, I need to sum up the courage to get out and do that. Wish me luck. Night night. Morning. It is 6:45 and it is daylight. And I chose a very, very nice spot because I had very little wind, which actually enabled me to be warm enough in my sleeping bag, which is great. My sleeping bag is only a -1 comfort, so, and I'm quite a cold sleeper, so yeah, it worked out quite well. The distance that I walked yesterday in the end was 23 kilometers, which, given how fast I had to walk it, my feet are not happy bunnies today at all. So we'll see how that goes. At least today I've got more time, I guess, to do the rest of the distance. I'm just chilling in my sleeping bag at the moment. And soon I will make coffee. I think I chose well, even with all this faffing about yesterday. And the rain has stopped, as you can see, so that's great. Finally. The best time of the day. I think this canister just finished. I think it's out of gas, but it's perfect because it boiled my water, and I have another canister if I want another coffee later on. This is why I bring 2 canisters. Perfect. Love using up a canister on the trail. The fog is coming down from the hill, unless it's just going to linger there, but it looks like it's coming down, so I feel like that's my signal to get a move on.
this is nice rest. Oh, it's so much heavier when clothes are wet. Oh, this cloth is really wet. There we go. I really hope this angle's okay, by the way. I didn't actually check. As you see, I'm trying to dry out these things. My passport's really wet. Like, yeah, this here is obviously drenched. Fun times. On the way. On the way. You know that song? It's in my head now because I'm on the way. Get it? Anyway, finally on the way. Finally left again, but I love taking my time at camp in the morning. I remember now why I wanted to camp near the lake. Just because it's so nice in the morning. I just freaking love it. There's something so special about that. But yeah, so now I'm gonna backtrack on myself a little bit because obviously I had to walk a specific way to get here to rejoin the main path. Then I need to find some water and a nice spot to have a late breakfast. And the reason I didn't have breakfast there is just because I need to get a move on, and yeah, just want to make sure. It's a bit of a tricky section. Literally so many paths that are submerged. It made for an interesting hike yesterday, and I'm sure that will continue today, but at least there isn't more rain that's going to add to that. So it's lovely out here. I feel honestly so much better than I did last night. It wasn't too bad, like I didn't feel awful or anything, but and it's going to be nice to actually see in the daylight where I came yesterday, because I didn't see any of that. Just hiking by torchlight. So definitely want to come back to this place. Really beautiful, and I wanted to explore like all around the lake and stuff. It was really boggy my end, so I thought I'd have to leave it for another time. This little measly bit is where I filtered water last night, literally 2 minutes away from my camp spot. Did the job though. I can see the bracken beacons. Partially covered, but still. I'm above where I camped. Oh, it's so beautiful. I have swapped my down jacket for my jacket again because it's sort of raining a little bit. Half snowing, half raining a little bit. So yeah, I feel lighter though. The down jacket is good, but It is very warm. The rainbow. Zip line? I'm not sure. I've just stumbled upon this right now and I have no idea what it is. Sun's out though. Woo! I'm a bit of an idiot. I just assumed that there would be more water sources up here. Like they kind of are, but they're not very accessible. Just because of the landscape. So I'm sort of carefully sipping at the remainder that I have, but I really need to find some water soon. And also I'm hungry. I think I'll just combine like breakfast and lunch and just have all of it when the time comes when I find some water. Hopefully not long now, but yeah, I should have just filled it up earlier. Like when I was further down towards the lake, there was loads of places I could have gotten some. Not directly by the lake, but I think, you know, like you get going, you've already like spent a long time at camp, you've kind of not wasted time, but you know, you kind of just want to get going, you've got all your gear on. So I just got into that and just didn't really take the time to filter some water. It does take a little while. I suppose I could just drink it fresh without filtering it in some places, but I always think I'm out here by myself, better safe than sorry. So yeah. I guess the next time I'm gonna film is when I find some water. Because that will be cause for celebration. Found a source, woohoo! Da, 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 da. I don't know how well you can see, but it's a little bit yellow. But that's just Pete. That's just my mate Pete. But it's drinkable, it's fine. I just had some and it's been filtered, so yay, water! Okay, I know I said I would stop when I found some water, but I'm really close to this viewpoint, and so I just kind of want to go there instead. I'll just have some snacks until I actually like properly have a break and sit down and like properly have everything. Yeah, by the way, that's definitely a zip line. Some people just went down it, so yeah. Exciting stuff. Zip lining. I'm gonna stab myself. These look quite impressive from so near, and I'm not even that new to it, but they're massive. And occasionally I can just hear this clunking noise. And this really makes me nervous to just pass next to it. But it's obviously working well, so yeah, I don't know why the wind turbines make me nervous. They're so massive. You know what? It's like 12:30, so I'm not gonna have breakfast. I'm just straight up gonna have my lunchy things, and I'm gonna filter some water because I am by a river or stream. So yeah. This is part of my lunch. It's like the least attractive lunch ever. I know it's gross, but it's very good. I'm sorry, guys. Lovely. Hello. Just taking shelter under some trees to update you. I am fed, hydrated, caffeinated, and ready to go. I just had my last piece of birthday cake. I'm gonna have a swig of whiskey just because I can, and yeah. Anyway, it's sleeting, as I said, so yeah, it's a bit better than rain, I guess, a bit less wet. But yeah, I'm gonna get a move on. I think I've only got like 6k left, so getting there. Seen more people around today than I did all of yesterday. I don't think I saw anyone yesterday, so that's easy to beat, isn't it? Anyway, bye! Down into Maerdi, if that's how it's pronounced, via the hill, but now that I've gone up it a little bit and I've seen what's ahead, I'm like, nah. I'd much rather just stay in the valley next to the nice rivers, streams, waterfalls, much more picturesque. So I'm just backtracking on myself a little bit. Yeah, it's turning out to be, it's drier now. I haven't had, fingers crossed, if I could touch wood I would. Fingers crossed, that's it now for today, for the sleet. You'll see now, I've probably jinxed it. Hello, I haven't got any food for you. As wild as I'd sort of hoped. Several reservoirs though, and you can really tell there was a few like old train tracks and stuff, so you can really tell, you know, used to be mining obviously in Wales and all that stuff. I don't know much about it, but yeah, it's interesting to me, you know, how much of it you could still see in the landscape. It's lovely now, some blue skies, patch of clouds, very pleasant end to this walk. Still have a couple of kilometres left, but I feel like the landscape's going to be kind of the same, but yeah, good stuff. To conclude, this really has been a lovely first wild camp of 2022. Of course, it brought its challenges with it, but you know, what wild camp and hike wouldn't? Especially when hiking in the rain, trying to reach a particular spot, yada yada yada. So no, I think it was a successful trip, and I'm excited to see where I'm going next. But also I think for the rest of the month I will look back very, very fondly on this, because I'm not going to have time to film anything the rest of the month, so or to film any trips anyway. So yeah, should be good. Oh, it's lovely. Look at that. I hope I'm aiming this well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you enjoyed both days worth of the trip, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.